Hey, how's it going, YouTube? It's been a while. Honestly, things are the same, so there's really not much to report. This video, as the title suggests, is going to be my after-action report for Area 4, the 2024 Staccato Area 4 Championships. Over the weekend, I went and stayed at a buddy's house. Thanks, Calvin, for hosting me again, and shot the match across a two-day format, morning Saturday, evening Sunday. So what I want to do is essentially just make an after-action report for how I performed at the match and things I wish I did better or things I could have done better. Pretty much that's it. Standard after-action report, right? Nothing fancy. So without further ado, we're going to get right into stage one, which luckily for me, I was able to shoot it on a way where my stages flowed in order. So it helps me keep track of all the scores and stuff. I was part of squad 212, and again, we started with stage one. Okay, so stage one, also known as the Big House. I placed 11th out of 145 for limited optics for this stage. 25 alphas, 7 charlies, time 2381, hit factor 6.1319. This was my first stage of the day. Relatively early morning. It was a nice cool morning. I don't really think I could have done much better, right? Everything flowed where I wanted to. Positioning was good. Didn't mess up my unloaded start. Yeah, that's it. It was a great stage. All right, stage two, head of the house. I placed 28th for limited optics, 27 alphas, 4 charlies, time 2644 for a hit factor of 5.5598. Stage is crazy, right? Tons of different ways to approach this stage. You had this headbox, no-shoot hardcover thing going on, and overall it was, in my opinion, a relatively challenging stage. The main thing being that there were so many ways to approach it and different stage plans. My stage plan, in my opinion, was not as efficient as it could have been. It ended up flowing a little bit slower than I'd like it to, so like I was a couple of seconds behind pace for a lot of people, and this is mostly just me and my ability to execute the stage plan, right? With stage two, there were some guys like Hunter Constantine ran my same exact stage plan, but he did it like 4 seconds faster. So my thing is, I just wasn't efficient with my stage plan, so took a little bit of a hit there. Wasn't the best performance. Could have had a more efficient stage plan. Shot it clean. I'm happy with that. All right, stage three. It's called the Fun House. 17th for limited optics. 22 alphas, 6 charlies, time 2349 for a 5.4491. Yeah, this stage pretty much executed it the way I wanted it to. My stage plan flowed well. As you can see, I'm coming into position on the left side, starting with the open target going into the hardcover slasher. There's a pause, you can kind of see it there, and it's mostly because I thought I hit the mic, like hit the hardcover. Luckily for me, it was a line break, so I pushed through, finished off with those close targets, went to the right, finished that off, reloaded, hit the steel, blah blah blah. The only complaint I guess I could have given myself for this one is I wish I didn't stutter on that hit, and also swingers. I suck at swingers. I took too long to shoot the swingers, so hey, it is what it is. Alright, so stage 4A. This was the first time I ever shot on a shaky bridge. Got 10 alphas, 2 charlies for a time of 9.34, hit factor of 5.9957. With the shaky bridge, luckily for me, I'm a small, relatively stout guy, so my center of gravity is much lower than a lot of these large guys. So I was able to kind of crash into position, settle well, and then crash out of position and be kind of fine. For the right side, I opted to shoot that first, mostly because it would have been easier to shoot the clamshell or surprise target, as you call it, and then the swinger, instead of going left first and then crashing into the right position and then just kind of flubbing and moving around everything. So I started with the right side first. Alright, stage 4B, known as the back fence. First 4A, I placed 3rd for limited optics, so pretty good run for me. 4B, the back fence, placed 11th for limited optics, 9 alphas, 3 charlies, 8.63 time with a hit factor of 6.2572. When I saw this one in the matchbook, I was like, yo, I don't want to hit any of those no-shoots behind the steel. So my plan for this one was get a very smooth draw quickly, and then formulate a good grip and try to go 1-for-1 on steel, do my reload, and then just shoot the paper controlled but kind of quickly. The only problem with that is, even as you can see in the slow cadence I shot the paper, I still threw 3 charlies, so like I guess I just suck. So that was 4B. Went as smooth as I wanted to, and luckily didn't hit any no-shoots. Now for my last stage of day 1, stage 5, take a seat. I placed 35th for limited optics, and you can tell something went wrong. So 24 alphas, 4 charlies, time 2386 for a hit factor of 5.5323. Now it probably sounds like, it sounds good, right? The issue I had was running through my stage plan, never had any problems, knew where all the targets were, mentally shot everything well and great, whatever, good as I could. And as soon as the timer went off, maybe because it was the last stage of the day or something, I don't know. Came into the left window, shot those 2 targets, right side shot that target, right side shot that target, came to the second window and ran right by it. So I cost myself a couple of seconds having to run back, shoot that target, and then clean out the rest of the stage. But luckily, again, clean stage for me, so hey, you win some, you lose some. That concludes day 1 for me. Takeaways. I wanted to relatively shoot a clean match, mostly because my last major was the Tennessee sectional, and I bombed it because I shot a bunch of mics. So coming into this match, I was very big on, hey, I want to shoot as minimal points down as possible, even if it takes me a little bit longer. And I accomplished that for day 1. So checking scores later in the day, I felt like I was placing very well and shooting very well. So hopefully I kept that energy into day 2. Spoiler alert, he did not. But we'll find out later. All right, now moving forward, we're going to talk about day 2, which was Sunday afternoon for me. One of the nice things about day 2 is I remembered my hat, so I was able to get the POV footage from my Insta Go 2 or Insta360 Go 2, along with getting the stage footage of someone filming me while I run it. So starting with day 2, we're going to start with stage 6, which was playing in the park. So first stage of the day for me, table start, run up to the table, and yeah, that's it. I had 21 alphas, 3 charlies, total time was 1769 for a hit factor of 6.4443, 6 unlimited optics for that stage. Stage went well. I mean, that's it. Everything happened how I wanted it to. It was a great start to the day for me, so I liked it. Alright, next stage, stage 7. No playing in the hallway. I had 28 alphas, 2 charlies, total time of 2367, 6.1681 hit factor, 17th for limited optics that stage. For this stage, I opted to go to the left first just to knock out that hard lean on that small steel on the left, backing out of the 2 next couple of targets coming in on the right side. One issue I did have is the large steel in the front section of steels on the left would not really fall. You can see if you slow down the footage and look at it. It was a good hit. Ammo was chronoed correctly, whatever. Mixed power factor, etc. And I had to take 2 shots at it to get it to fall, and then the steel took, a little bit longer to fall. So a little bit of a stutter or stagger there. The rest of the stage went smooth. Yeah, should have split it a little bit faster on open targets, but again, continuation of a good strong streak for day 2. Alright, stage 8A, give me 3 steps. This is where things go downhill. Not really, but I get my first mic of the day, and of course, because it's a Virginia count stage, it ends up being a mic and a no-shoot, so that sucks. 9 alphas, 2 charlies, 1 mic, 1 no-shoot, total time of 7.77, hit factor 3.9897, 61 for limited optics. A little bit of a stagger after I hit the no-shoot. Vision just wasn't there where it should have been, and yeah, paid for it with a no-shoot. Sucks, whatever. Stage 8B, the twist, 6 alphas, 2 charlies, time 6.83, hit factor 5.2709. 19th for limited optics. This one, the way I had planned to shoot it was steals in sequence left to right, 1, 2, 4, 3. By then the drop turner should have turned, been able to shoot at that, and then the swinger. Set a couple more of the swinger insurance rounds just to be safe. Shot it how I wanted to. Just there's that. Alright, so stage 9, area 4 again. This was a large stage. Pretty much had to go to all corners, and a bunch of people ran it a lot of different ways. I ran it pretty efficiently, in my opinion. 29 alphas, 1 charlie, total time 2566 for hit factor of 5.7677. 15th for limited optics. Again, I ran the stage, I think,
one of the best ways I could have. A little bit, you know, a couple of staggers here and there, but overall, I thought it went smooth. Went how I wanted it to. So that's the stage. Stage 10, the Thunder. 24 alphas, 1 Charlie, 1771 time, hit factor 6.9452, 14th for limited optics. Stage also went really well. Pretty much went how I wanted it to. A lot of people were coming in on the left targets in the front and then coming to the right hard lean. I want to just knock that hard lean right out of the way, so I did that. The only thing I would change about this stage personally is at the end, those 5 steals, I shouldn't have like stutter stepped to shoot each one. I should have just found 2 different positions and just chose them to knock it off. If you had 5 steals, would have been better for me in the long run. Probably cut a little bit of time down, but overall good run for me. Last stage of the day, stage 11, clean up on aisle 11. 27th for limited optics, so you can tell something went wrong. 24 alphas, 5 Charlies, 1 Delta, and 1 Mike. Time 2181, 5.7772 hit factor. Stage went well. It's a start anywhere stage. Most people opted to start on the far left because of that hard lean on the steel and that partial target in the back there. Middle section was good, and when I get to my 3rd shooting position is when I shoot at a hardcover tux and never made up my shot. Whether it was because it was the end of the day, it was the end of the weekend, it was the last stage of the entire match for me, maybe the heat was getting to me, you know, there's a bunch of overlying factors that could have caused it, but yep, hit a mic there, so it sucks, but it is what it is. So that closes out all the results for the match. Now this is like the taxes, right? Like all the details and stuff for the match. Oh, before I do that, chrono. I shoot 124 grain Supervel ammunition. It's their competition rounds, nothing too crazy. I chronoed for me at 128.8 power factor. I was getting like 1050 velocity, 1040, 1039, etc. So 128.8 power factor, right at 129 out of my Glock 17, which I'll show you guys in a second. So overall, plays 55 out of 450, roughly. When you look about all like the DQs and stuff, it's about 450 people. For limited optics, I placed 14th out of 145. And if you combine limited optics and carry optics, I placed like 28th, I believe, out of like 250. So relatively decent placing for me, especially for this being my 2nd major, and only shooting USPSA for roughly about a year and a half. Yeah, that's pretty much it for match results and AAR. Now, for anyone asking what was I shooting, like what was the gear or etc., this is the show and tell part of everything. So we've got a Glock 17 Gen 4. As you can see, it's all shiny. This is a Talo distribution, or Talo distributors version, Talo edition of the gun. It's got this pretty sick floral print on it that is very PVD finished and all shiny. I got it slide cut or milled by Wager Machine Works. They just blued the cut area, put on the Angry Bear suppressor height sights, and I have a 507 comp on here from Holosun. Love the dot. It's my favorite competition dot. Handle it grips. I use the sandpaper grips. I like them. They're very aggressive. Keeps my hand planted. A Vickers tactical mag release. Reason I use this mag release is because with the additional grip tape on the grips, it is very hard to reach the OEM grips. They just don't. I'm sorry. It's very difficult to reach the OEM mag release. It doesn't like push in right, so I wanted something a little bit more extended, but I wanted to keep it polymer so I don't really mess up my mags. So I went with the Vickers tactical release. The tactical trigger drop-in kit with the aluminum flat index. Yeah, that's the drop-in kit. Love it. Good break, good reset. A Surefire X300A edition, just so I can take it on and off. This is my range one, so it's all like crumbed up and burnt. CHPWS brass feed ramp or speed feed, and extensions. I use just Glock OEM mags. I either use Zev extensions, TTIs, or Hennings, depending on how many rounds I need from said extension. And that's it. So appreciate you guys sitting here and watching this video. Hopefully you took something from it, or hopefully it was entertaining. Other than that, be good people.